thought the days of bailouts were over, you may want to think again. Critics slamming the president for these comments yesterday.
I said, let's bet on America's workers. And we got management and workers to come together, making better cars than ever, and now GM's #1 again, and the American auto industry's come roaring back. So now I want to say what we did with the auto industry, we can do in manufacturing across America.
Craig Smith, questioning the president's definition of success. He's CEO of Swiss America, and I saw him in the monitor as that soundbite was being played. He was shaking his head. What's the matter, Craig? You don't believe that GM is roaring back?
Well, apparently nobody's given President Obama the data because, of course, it's not. Stuart, he said he wants to do this for all the manufacturing, so he wants to violate contract law and every sound economic principle that's ever been taught to do what he did with General Motors. I mean, to General Motors, where he expropriated the company, where he took the ownership of the company out of private hands and private investors and common shareholders and, in effect, gave it to the government and the workers.
Well, Craig,
Stuart, you of all people should know that sounds like something out of Great Britain, not out of America.
Stop it, Craig. I think you're implying too much in the president's comments. I would back off a little and suggest what the president wants to do is give government help to all industry, all manufacturing, as opposed to bail out and take over.
But Stuart, that's not help. I mean, think about this. There are laws, bankruptcy laws. Let's take, for example, Chapter 11, Chapter 13. Clearly, this company could have been restructured, gotten rid of bad contracts that are clearly through legacy costs holding this corporation back. But instead, what do? We took secured creditors, Stuart, and we put them in second place behind the UAW so that billions of dollars could be given to the unions to be able to shore up the workers. Well, and then what do you do with the bondholders? Just wipe them out. 30 cents on the dollar. Well, that's just tough. But what is that going to do to investors, Stuart? Why would I want to invest my money knowing that risk is there?
But the president, let's get back to what he said. The president says GM has come roaring back and it's #1. It is not #1 in world sales. That's back to Toyota. But again, do you think that there is something to be said for GM? Is it roaring back?
No, of course not. And the statistics show that. Their profits were off 41%. Stuart, let's look at one thing. Let me give you a perfect example. The first quarter of 2011. Remember, they had this record profit, $3.7 billion. What they didn't mention is that it was $1.5 billion of that came as a direct result of the Delphi spinoff. If you look at the operating profit, it was about $1.5 billion, which was less than Ford made in profit, and we didn't bail out Ford. I mean, Stuart, this president, I'm sure his intentions are good, but he just doesn't understand basic economic principles. And what frightens me as him being an attorney, he's willing to violate contract law, which you and I both know he did, to bail out the workers and give government and the workers GM. Doesn't make sense, Stuart.
I hear you. Craig Smith joining us, CEO Swiss America. Thank you very much, Craig. Meantime, a bipartisan group,